You should definitely let your child play Dress to Impress, but here's why. I'm not saying to let them play Dress to Impress unsupervised or unmonitored. No. But if your child loves playing Dress to Impress, you definitely should be playing Dress to Impress with them. Point blank, if your child loves playing games, period, you should be playing at least one or two of those games with them. Now, as someone who hosts weekly virtual gaming clubs for children, and Dress to Impress is my number one most popular option for the children because literally they love playing Dress to Impress. I know and I can see like how much they're all growing, and the reviews, like the parents, like everything. You can't fake reviews on OutSchool. Like, let's just be real, you cannot fake reviews on OutSchool. And from all the parents, would agree. So here's why I'm saying you should allow your child to play Dress to Impress with you or supervised. Okay? Added that. And I am not sponsored by DTI. I'm not formally associated with DTI or Roblox or anything like that. I'm not formally associated with Dress to Impress. However, I do have gaming clubs for Dress to Impress on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And I see firsthand, especially in free play mode, when those children really take time, because in free play mode, you have to understand, you get to take literally as long as you want to pick an outfit. So imagine you're in one of the coolest closets ever, and there is so many clothing options available, and you have a theme. You're picking out an outfit for something specific, and you get all the time in the world to do so, right? These children take so much pride, typically, not all the time. Sometimes I just want to play and do whatever. But like when they're serious, they take so much pride and effort into their outfits. They're layering, they're getting the right patterns. They're doing this, they're doing that. So when they actually present their outfits and they're sharing what they feel, you ask them questions that helps their mind formulate answers. It helps, some things are mental practice. You have to practice them so that you can do it. And children are learning skills from every interaction. Every single interaction with your child, you are teaching them something, and they are learning from you. So if you make the interactions intentional, you can actually plant seeds of prosperity and progress into them while you're playing Dress to Impress, which is what I do. So first thing, or you can do regular mode where you're like playing, you're getting your outfit together and you're voting for other people. You ask them like, hey, what did you think about such and such's outfit? What do you think about this? Oh, we're voting. Ooh, blah, 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 blah. It's so much going on. But the more that the child is having fun, they will start to reveal aspects of who they are. And so then from there, you can spot, okay, red flag, green flag. And when you see those red flags, you can hone in on that, nip it in the bud quick before it plants, and then replace it with a green flag. Because children ultimately just want your approval. They want to know that you see them. And some children have been taught that criticism is the way that they get seen. Some children have been taught that by being bad is the way that they are seen. By being disruptive is the way that they are seen. Especially sometimes children that come from a larger family, not all the time, but sometimes when parents are not able to give attention evenly, then children will start to act up because they want more attention, and the only way sometimes to get more attention in a lot around a lot of people is by being bad. So, like when you are playing games with them, it lets down. I don't know how, because I'm not on the scientific aspect of this. I'm just on the real deal. Like I do this all the time. I know what I'm talking about, and the reviews speak for themselves type thing. So like I know what I'm saying. But it's like it takes away their like I have to be this person. It just allows them to be themselves. That's what I'm trying to say. Gaming is a gateway to authenticity for children. Play is a gateway to authenticity, because when you're playing and you get into it, you can't pretend to be someone else while you're playing a game, especially as a child. Like, they're just not there. Once they get into it, it's their raw personality. So when you get to the raw personality, that is where you can actually make real impact and change in their lives. That is where, when you notice if they're hypersensitive to criticism, that you are extra positive and pouring into that. For example, I had one student, I asked her a direct question. Why did you put, and I said it more, ha ha ha, but like, why did you put stripes and polka dots together? Right? Like something like that. And she was like, oh, well, stripes are good and polka dots are, and she just started like going on down this road. So, you know what I did next time? I remembered that. And so instead of asking her, this time I complimented it. And I said, oh, wow, I loved how you put stripes and polka dots together, because what that showed me was that, oh, okay, she's very sensitive to criticism. And regardless of why or whatever, my role is to instill confidence. So I'm not going to pick that scab with her. Instead, I'm going to actively compliment and actively highlight the things that are different. Now, on another student, I asked the same direct question. Why did you put stripes and polka dots together? Well, I put stripes and polka dots together because when I put stripes in, then I was like, you know what? And then I wanted to do this, and then I wanted to do that. And so that student, I say, okay, wonderful. Okay, so then I will continue to ask that student questions and compliment. So you still have to compliment the children regardless. I want to be very clear on that. But like the children that I ask specific questions to, the ones that I'm like, okay, look, you can do this or you can do that. The ones that I ask specific questions to, like direct questions, those are the ones that I know that they can handle it, because they know I'm not attacking them. They know I'm not judging them. And those are the ones like that typically have an easier time articulating themselves. They have an easier time having confidence, and so those things. So when you're working with children, you have to be paying attention to all of it. It's not just one thing or two things or this and that. It's like everything. And that's why I've created an ecosystem that's helping children, not just these clubs. And the clubs are a big major part of it, because this is where they actually get to practice these things. But confidence doesn't begin and end in a club. Like, let's just be real. But it definitely is rooted, because the big thing is like what's happening outside of the club, And so as a village, we all come together to raise your child in the best way. It's a village. This is a virtual village. I'm literally the village big sister, like flat out. Like, that's what I am. The village's big sister. I was born for this. I literally was born the eldest daughter, and I've just decided to turn it into a career. And also, make a difference in the world, because I go to sleep every day knowing that I've impacted somebody. And because of the fact that since I'm virtual and my clubs are virtual, I have children from all over the world. I have children that are in my clubs in Korea. I have children that are in my clubs in Vietnam. I'm serious. I have children that are in my clubs. The second most populated country, I guess, obviously America, and then Australia. Australia is my second most populated group of students, which is interesting because I didn't know anybody from Australia personally, and now I know like 5 or 6 people from Australia. Like I said, significantly most of the students are in America, but I do have students all over the world. And so I know that like every single day I am positively impacting children around the world. And that feels fantastic and amazing. So, like I said, there are only 7, a max. That's like max. There are a max amount, There's a max of 7 students per club. Okay? There's some that there's only 4. There's going to be less and less and less. So the max of 7, okay? I have multiple times, but if anything that I said sounds cool to you, hit that thing, do all the things, sign up because limited spots are available. Okay? All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Your child is playing Dress to Impress for hours, and then you start to think to yourself, is this too much screen time? Are they safe? Are they talking and chatting with strangers? Why can't they just go outside and play? Are they making real friends? Is this even healthy? Should I take the game away? But I can't because then they'll be devastated and be upset. So what the heck do I do? Well, first thing, you need to just and breathe. I'm Coach Yana, and I'm a children's confidence coach, and I actually do have the answers to your many questions and concerns. In my Dress to Impress gaming clubs, I'm actually there playing with your child in small groups of no more than 7 students. And while we're playing, I'm actively coaching them on how to make decisions, how to express themselves out loud. They're also learning how to handle feedback gracefully, as well as, of course, internet safety. All of these naturally help children practice real skills that they can use in the real world as well, ultimately helping them develop real, lasting confidence. They're also learning what not to share online. People, this is confidence coaching in real time. These skills are transferable, showing up in school, showing up in real friendships, and in life in general. This is not time wasted in the video game. This is confidence growing in real time. In as little as 4 to 8 weeks, you will start to notice real change in your child. So with that being said, scroll down, read the reviews, and enroll today. As we all know, it takes a village to raise a child, so allow me to be a part of your virtual village.